In this video, we're going to look at how we move from the last level after we've defeated the boss and collected the apple, or if you've only just done collecting the collectible or destroying the end of level boss, with how we move from that screen to the win screen. So we've already dealt with the lose screen, so there's a little bit of repetition with this, and there's certain things that we can copy. I'm going to show you that as we go through. But everything we work on today is going to be on the controller GUI, and you're going to need to create a room for your win screen. So I've created my win screen. So this is my win screen, and I'm going to have some text appear on the screen somewhere. Okay, so it's just a basic win screen I'm going to have at the minute. We will be going back to both of these screens at some point to add some further interaction, because we need a way of moving back from the lose screen and the win screen back to the start, because we've got to create a start screen as well. So we will be revisiting these at a later date. So you can see that I've got my win screen there. Okay, so let's open up the controller GUI. So this is how we are going to, this is what we're going to use to work out where we go from defeating the boss and stuff. So we're going to be looking at the step event. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this event here. Now this looks very complicated. This is where we move from the from whatever room we were in to the lose screen if we lose all our lives. So you can see that if we lose our lives, we switch room, and we switch room. If we're in room 1, we go to the lose screen. If we're in room 2, we go to the lose screen. If we're in room 3, we go to the lose screen. We need to also add now, well, that is the end of level screen. We now need to add where we go if we defeat the enemy and if we collect the object. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, just so you can see what I am doing. Okay, so we're going to start by creating an if statement, and what we want to do is we want to check to see if our global.boss.hp is equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to click and watch what I do with the if statement. I'm not dragging it down here, I'm dragging it up here. Okay, and you can see that it adds a new if statement onto the side of this if statement. We don't want it running down here, we need it over this side. So I'll show that once again. I'm dragging my if statement over to the side here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back in just so you can see what I'm typing. So if global dot boss HP, so that's what we set for the global variable for the boss hit points, is equal to 0. Okay, if they're equal to 0, we want to do something. Okay, we want to go to room. We want to go to the room win. But what we need to do is the same sort of thing as we've got here. We want to switch the room. So we need a switch statement underneath. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to come over here and we're going to use a switch statement. So the switch statements are towards the bottom, or you can just type it in. There's the switch. I'm going to use the switch here. Okay, I'm going to switch room. Okay, and what have we done here? Look, you can see we've used a case statement. We've only got, it's only going to ever be one instance where we've got an end of level boss, and that's going to be in room 3. So we are going to add a case statement. There's the case statement. Okay, there. If we're in room 3, rm underscore level 3. And we're going to switch room, or we're going to go to room, and we're going to go to rm underscore win. So let's have a look where that is. Okay, let's just type it in. Go to room. There's go to room, go to a specific room. So let's scroll down here. We're going to go to room rm underscore win. Okay, so let's see if that works. So, and then we'll come back and look at the other way. So let's play the game. So we need to shoot the boss 5 times. And hopefully what that'll do. Okay, I lost a life. 2, 3, 4. Oh, lost another life. Don't want to lose another one. Oh, there we go. Let's try again. Okay. I got one more time. There we go, and we go to the windscreen. So that works perfectly. Okay. So we know we've got a game that goes to the lose screen if we lose our lives, and the win screen if we win. So if I wanted to just use zoom out just a little bit so you can see what's going on. If I just wanted to use the boss hit points reaching 0, then that's how I would do it. Okay. If I wanted to do the collectible object, all I would do is I would change this global boss HP to global has apple, which is what I've called my collectible. Yours will be called something different. And I want to check to see if that equals 1. Okay, so we'll test that now. And if, just make sure that that's right there. Yeah, it is. It's just that I've zoomed out so you can't see the L. Okay, if I test this now, if I collect the apple, I should go to the win screen, hopefully. So let's try that. Okay, there's my next one. Okay, let's try and avoid the boss. And there we go, I've collected the apple and this time go to the win screen. Okay, brilliant. So what happens then if I decide that I want to do the both? Well, it's not any big issue. All I need to do is to add another if statement. So let's change, let's go on to this and get rid of that. Let's drag an if statement in here. I want to go up there, thank you. Let's drag this down here. There we go. So now I'm testing to see if I have the apple. So if I got the apple, brilliant. I go and test now to see if my boss global dot boss HP is equal to 0. And if it is, if both of these conditions are met, I now switch to the room. Okay, so let's just go and test that. Okay, great. So first off, let's go and collect the apple because that's the easiest thing to do, provided I don't get hit by Mr. Green, and I did. Let's do that. Okay, so there's my apple, so nothing has happened, and that's right, it shouldn't happen unless I hit my boss. So I've hit him a couple of times there. For the sake of testing the game, what I could have done is reduce the number of times I have to hit the boss. There we go. So I've both now have been achieved, and now I move to the win screen. So that's working exactly as I need. But all I need to do now is to add some text to the screen to say what my score was and so on. So let's go onto the draw GUI event, and here we can copy some of the coding that we've got. Okay, so what we want to do is we're in the switch room event here. Okay, so if we are in the RM_win, we want to draw something on the screen. So I'm going to change, and I'm going to add another case statement at the bottom of this. Let's zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to add another case statement. So there's my case statement. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag there so you can see it's added another case statement. All right. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to copy these 4 draw events to save myself some time. So if I use the shift key and I can highlight these four, I'm going to copy them, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste them on here. So to paste them, I clicked on the case statement. Okay, so now I've copied them. So I can now start working on this. All right, so let's see what I've done here. So I first need to put in rm_win, because that's my win screen. And now I can change my text. So first thing, I don't want to be using a yellow because I've got a very bright color as it is. So let's change it to black. Okay, so my font color is going to be black. I'm going to change my draw value here. Yay! Comma, you have won. Okay. So I'm going to say here, you have defeated the boss and collected the healthy apple. Okay, we'll see where it looks, how it looks in a minute when we test the game. I'm going to change the X across to, let's try 800, and the Y down to 800, just to see where it's going to appear on screen. Okay, so let's test this and see how we look. Before we test it, because I want to save some time, I'm going to remove one of my no, I won't. I'll test it to make sure it works properly. Okay, let's go. Might take a little bit of time, but we'll give it a go. Okay, once more we hit, there we go. So we got rid of the monster, the boss, and let's go over onto the apple. Boom. Okay, so yeah, you have won. You defeated the boss and collected the healthy apple. I've got some issues with my score, so I wonder where that's gone. It might be because I haven't got a score, perhaps. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so I haven't got my score on the screen, so there must be some issue with the with where I've placed it. So let's go and have a look at that. So first thing I'm going to do is change my font color to black. So I change my font color to black there, and let's bring it halfway into the room. So I'm going to do room width underscore width divided by 2. Okay, and that'll put it in the middle of the screen. And I'm going to set the Y. Let's try 400. So it'll bring it down 400 pixels. So let's try, and what I'll do as well, I'll set the scale for the X to 2 and the Y to 3. Let's see if that has any impact. So let's run that very quickly. Boom, boom. Right, let's get rid of this. There we go. So that's quicker. That's got rid of that boss. So let's come across, touch the apple. Boom. There we go. All right. So we're going to come back and we're going to revisit these win and the lose screens, because obviously they don't do anything. So once you get there, there's no way of restarting the game. So we're going to look at that in a separate video. So that ends this video.